my channel. It's your girl Jasmine Nicole. First of all, you're ugly. It's your girl Jasmine Nicole back at it again with another video. Today I have my cousin here, and we're just gonna do a get ready with me. But we're gonna answer some questions, and also today I'm gonna be featuring the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. This stuff, I already tried it, so I kind of know what it's gonna do, but it's bomb. Because I don't wear foundation, as y'all know, so this is actually perfect because, you know, this is kind of like, it looks like foundation, but it's not foundation type thing. And I'm in the shade tan for shade reference. I know a lot of you guys use me for shade reference, so yeah, we're just gonna jump into the video. So you could tell them what you're using on your face in case people, you know, want to use your same routine. But the first question is, in your first opinion, who will be married first? Oh, I'm gonna be using the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer on my face. And I like to first spray with the Madison Beer X Morphe Lockdown Luminous Setting Spray. This stuff is bomb.
I'm gonna use this one. Well, it's not gonna be me. I already know that.
I don't know. I feel like
she's in a relationship. I'm not, so
okay, but who knows? Something could happen. People meet and then get married months later. By the way, mind your business. I know I'm using a lot of primer, but mind your business.
Yeah, I just put a lot on too.
I use a lot because I like. Oh shucks. I like to have extra blurring. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Okay, the next question is, who is the fastest driver among all the cousins? It's definitely
not her.
It definitely ain't me, because I don't even, Mike, he claims that I drive slow, so it ain't me. I would say between Devon, Jay drives.
Devon?
Yes.
Jay drives fast?
No.
I was about to say.
I drive faster than him.
Yeah, see, no. I would say me.
You drive carelessly. You don't drive fast, you drive carelessly. It's scary getting in the car with you. Next, okay. I do my brows, and I'm going to use the Benefit Precisely My Brow on my brows.
And I actually, I do my foundation first, but I love the NYX Total Control foundation because it looks like skin. So that's, yeah, it kind of blurs. I don't know what it's gonna look like on camera, but my pictures be looking fire. So.
The next question is, have you ever exchanged your clothes with your cousins?
No, because
girl, you know I've used some of your clothes before.
You probably used some of my clothes, but it can't be the opposite.
I used to be tiny. Thick. For those that don't know, all my life until like maybe 2 years ago, I used to be.
She was bony,
extremely small, so nobody could actually use any of my. Wow, almost good.
I can't even use her shoes, cause
I wear like a size. I don't know. I'm just weird. I don't know where I came from. I could have been adopted because I have the smallest feet.
Yeah, our family is tall.
And
well, no, because me and you were the shortest.
Yeah, as far as height is concerned, like, it's pretty normal for our heights to be different, but like everybody has huge feet except for me. Like, yeah. I don't know what happened. I wear a size 5.5, sometimes 6.5, depending on what it is. Most of the time I wear 6.5 if it's like heels or something, but other than that, my feet are pretty small.
Yeah, and I don't know, I got my mom's side of the family's feet, and I'm short on my dad's side. That's where we get the height, and it's annoying.
I don't know where I got my height people from, don't because my mom is taller than me. My mom is taller than me and my dad is taller than me, so I don't know where I got my height from. But I just know if I do have a kid, they will be short because my boyfriend's short and so am I. Unless they get like somebody else's height, which that's a very odd chance. Next question is, who is more active on social media? Well, I am because I have to be. So,
what social media we talking about? Because I'm always active on Twitter.
See, I just recently started using Twitter. I wasn't really a fan of it because I used to hate feeling like I was talking to myself. Because people used to just see my tweets and then scroll back. Like, it was one tweet. Oh, I'm my bad, y'all. I forgot to tell y'all what I was using next. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown. I usually like to use chocolate, but they were sold out in Ulta when I went to go get it. So, I'm stuck with it. And I like to use the LA... sorry, allergies. The LA Girl Pro Conceal. And this is in, I think it's in Fawn. Yep, Fawn. You gotta get some of this. If you don't... Like, I like to... I don't know, I like to mix. I do like high-end products, but sometimes like my normal day-to-day routine, I usually use like drugstore stuff because I find it works the best on my skin. And like I said, I don't really like a whole cakey look. I mean, I like mattifying looks, but I don't really like a whole like cakey face. So. I be telling people not to sleep on drugstore products. Like, it works. Cause I still got my LA right next to my Fenty Beauty concealer and my NARS concealer and my Too Faced concealer, cause I use them all. I be trying to tell people, but I'm about to conceal my brows now with, I use the Cool Tan. Oh shucks. I use the shade Cool Tan from LA Girl Pro Concealer, but I also use the shade Tiramisu from NARS as well. So the next question is, what's your nickname family called? What? That makes no sense, but okay. Like, what do they call you? I guess I have different nicknames from different people. Like, it depends on who you ask. I'm a little blown because I left my little sponge. What sponge? It's like a blurring sponge. It's it's blue and velvet. Oh, you have one of those? No, you don't. Yes, you do. Those are all beauty blenders. Well, it's a beauty blender. Where did I get it from? I forgot what it's called, but they're pink and blue. Yeah, I think that's the one that you have. I got that junk from Marshalls. The pink one I got from Marshalls. But yeah, they call me oh, and I also use Ruby Kisses HD concealer. I don't know what color. Rich beige. They actually, I don't know what they did. This used to be a little bit more yellow. I like to use, obviously because my skin tone, like I'm like reddish brown, like chocolate, I guess. I don't know. So I like for my stuff to be kind of yellow under my eye. I don't like the whole like real bright. I don't really need that. But since they changed, I don't know, they like did I don't know if they did a rebrand or what, but the color looks a little bit off. So sometimes I occasionally go in with my MAC concealer, which is an NC45, it's a studio finish concealer. I sometimes go under my eyes with that too, but it just really depends on how I feel. But to answer the question, my family calls me Dev or Devi. I hate it. I really hate it. I don't even like my name. Oh my god. But here she go. I hate my name. I have like 5,000. I don't know. Everybody who knows me knows that I don't go by that name. Ow. Not nowadays. I don't know. I have like 5. It depends on who's talking to me. Like most people just say Jazz. Like that's the generic thing. But then people come up with like pet names for when you was a kid. So like my mom calls me something that I hate to be called. It's actually so childish, and she still calls me that. And then of course my dad calls me something different, and then like her older sister calls me Sweets. She came up with nicknames for basically everybody, every kid. And I'm trying to think, y'all, I don't know how this is gonna look on camera. Let's just hope and pray it looks decent, cause but yeah, like everybody has their own like nicknames. It would be too many for me to freaking name, honestly. And then my friends, everybody calls me Jazz for real. Everybody calls her Jazz. I will say, like my brother, he calls me Chanel because my middle name is Chanel. He does call me that. But I feel like this is a little too, it's just generic stuff. The next one is, that is not what. Who's most likely to cry in public? I don't like, I feel like it's me, but I hate crying in public, honestly. I don't like for people to see me cry. I don't cry, so it's most, I'm not really very emotional. My family actually kind of hates it. They say I'm like very dry and I'm not expressive.
I don't really know.
She'll look at you and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
But at this point, everybody just knows that's how she is. So nobody takes it personally, unless you don't know her.
Yeah, I've had to explain myself a lot of times. But it's not that I don't know. I have feelings. I just don't really know how to express it. I am a true Aquarius, if y'all know what that is.
Oh, y'all, this is the first time. Y'all know I usually don't do my brows on camera. And the fact that...
What is happening? What?
I actually like them today. Wow. Wow. That never happens. But it takes me all of like 15 minutes to do my brows. That's why I usually do them off camera, because it's gonna take too long.
Yeah, I do my brows last. Y'all, it's gonna, hopefully it comes together. I don't know what it's gonna look like yet, but
yeah. Oh wait, next question is, where was the last place that we traveled to? Shoot,
I got the family.
I think so. Because
South Carolina.
No, I really think I was like, well,
no. Like everybody going together, because the last couple times y'all gone places I haven't gone.
Yeah, because I think the last place everybody went to together,
what is this like?
It had to be, was it the cruise?
The Disney cruise?
No, remember we went on the other cruise? The
Royal Caribbean cruise? No, because not everybody was there.
Wow, the last time we actually probably went on vacation together was the Disney cruise.
And that was, how old was you?
I was like 8.
I was like, yeah, I think I was like 10.
Y'all, I'm about to use it now. It's the Laura Mercier Tinted Oil Moisturizer. It has SPF 20 in it. Hold on. Can it, as you gonna focus? Okay, y'all can see it later. My face is still in the camera. But when I say this stuff is amazing, I don't even use that much. If I am going to use some type of complexion product, I only use it on the bottom half of my face anyway, because I don't like to put anything on my forehead. So I'm just gonna do like that, and then I just kind of spread it out with my Essential Foundation brush from Real Techniques, and I just kind of blend it. Well, not blend it, I kind of just spread it around my face first before I blend it. And I think I put way too much. But this stuff is so moisturizing.
Yo, how in the world am I about to do this?
What?
You don't have any clean sponge? I mean, any clean,
like, brand new one?
I don't know how.
You could use, do you have a brush?
No,
because I blend with brushes a lot.
I would blend with my sponges. I'm gonna have to use this. Y'all, look at how chewed up this is. This is my Real Techniques sponge blender thing, and it's gone with me everywhere. I do have 50,001 brushes, but I just kind of,
this stuff, y'all,
actually I should have did this way. I don't know how this is about to work.
This stuff though, and it's not even dark, I mean like heavy, but like I said, my skin is weird on different days of the week. But yeah, like I was saying, I always have to see, like today it's a little bit darker than it was the last time I used it, because my skin, like some days I'll wake up and my skin is a little bit lighter than it was the other day. Why? I don't know.
Shoot, I'm tripping.
But
I didn't even put nothing on my nose.
This stuff, it makes my face feel like I'm just wearing my skin. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. They did give this to me for free, by the way. I am going to disclose, you know, it was a complimentary product for me to review. Shout out to Influencer and Laura Mercier. You guys are the best. And I am gonna blend it out just a little bit with my beauty blender, but it's already blended into my skin pretty much perfectly. But y'all, do y'all see this match to my neck? Hold on. Hold on. And I was a little nervous too, because you know how when companies send you stuff, you hope and pray, especially if you're black. Like, you like, bruh, if they try to send me something that's too bright, and I'm still brown, like, it's not like they can send me a extremely bright color and it's just gonna work. Like, but this This is my go-to. As soon as I get tan though, I'm probably not gonna be able to use it, but as far as now, I could ditch my foundation and just use this because this looks amazing. I'm obsessed. Next question. What do we call our grandparents? What? Well, I got like, we just call them grandma and granddad. Yeah. Like, now, I have on my dad's side of the family, I call my dad's dad G-Daddy. And I call my dad's mom Granny. And I call my, when I was like a kid, so I wouldn't get confused like by calling everybody grandma or granddad, we just came up with names to be like, you know, so you can distinguish the difference between your grandparents. So that's basically just what I just call them, grandma and granddad. Nothing special, honestly.
And on our mother's side of the family, we just say grandma and granddad.
Like,
that's it. Nothing special.
Nothing special. Like, I've been hearing all these people say like Meemaw or like Nana. We ain't had none of that.
Yeah, no.
I don't think grandma wanted to be called anything.
No, she never really.
She was probably like, y'all not gonna call me these names, just call me grandma. Like, what? And then granddad didn't care. He never said like, oh, call me this. Like, what? Okay, what was your favorite subject in high school?
My favorite subject in high school? Probably history or science.
Ugh, my leg is so tight.
Oh, and because she ended up going to a Catholic school later. But I went to a college prep private school. And my favorite subject was my senior year when we studied apologetics, which was like basically the study of all of the beliefs. Y'all, I know I look very weird and cakey right now. Like I said, let's just hope and pray that it's gonna.
My favorite subject, I know a lot of people probably gonna be like, how in the heck did you take this in high school? But I did go to a, what's it called, college prep Catholic school. So like we were able to basically take like, weren't college courses, but they were like preview, well shoot, they were college courses, because when I got to college, that stuff was easier than high school. So like I took this class called forensic science, which I mean most of the time you gotta wait till you get to college to take that. And I like fell in love with it. I said, oh yep, I'm going into criminal justice, and that's when I decided that's what I wanted to do. But it was a cool class. Like, she basically taught us how like it's CSI, like all the stuff you watch literally has not, like, it's not like that at all. Like what you see is not how it is. And I actually was happy because it actually made me want to, you know, take the class even more, because I was like, okay, well I want to see what it's really like if it ain't like this. So my favorite part of that class though was like the blood spatter and like how you can determine how somebody
I like that too.
Got like how somebody got killed, or like what weapon they were using, just looking off of like blood. And I thought that was so cool, even though I have a weak stomach and I don't like looking at stuff like that. But that to me was cool in itself, because I'm like, people out here really thinking that all you gotta do is look at somebody's blood. So that was my favorite subject. The next one is, what is at the top of your bucket list? I don't even have a bucket list. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all,
I don't have a legit one.
I used the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer in the shade 350 underneath my eyes. I don't really like, I used to like a really yellow under eye, but now I just like it to be kind of subtle. Like, yeah. I don't know, I guess the trend back then was to make your eyes super bright. Some days it depends, because I do have the Fenty Beauty powder as well, and that's like a yellow. So when I do want to add like a yellow hint, I'll use that. But for the most part, I just like it to look kind of like as natural as possible.
And for me, the powder I used was the Sasha Buttercup. This is my good old faithful. I haven't actually really tried. It's so weird. Like, I love makeup and I be watching YouTube videos and all of that, but I'm very, once I stick to something that once I find something that I like, I kind of just stick to it. And I'm not really adventurous when it comes to other stuff, because I have really bad pores. Like, my pores are always so open and deep. Once I find something that kind of just sucks them up, I I just run with it.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Next, I'm using the Laura Mercier, the translucent powder, you know, the stuff that everybody uses. That's what I use next. Under my eyes to kind of, I don't bake anymore, but I just wanted to kind of sit. Just because I have very deep set eyes. And it just be creasing too much for me, and I don't really care for that too much. So next, I'm going to contour, and I love this contour palette by BH Cosmetics called the Belgian Waffle. Y'all already know. That's what it looks like. So let me go to the next question. The next question was, oh, we didn't even answer, like, well, okay, it was nothing.
I thought we did answer.
We didn't have a bucket list. So the next question is, what is one item, or what is the one item you can't leave home without? My phone. Yeah. Well, now, because of Roro, I can't leave the house without my mask. That's the number one. Because you ain't going nowhere if you don't got a mask on. Well, in Maryland. I know some of y'all from other places. But in Maryland, yeah, we still have that in effect. Like, it ain't no COVID restrictions lifted like that in Maryland. Like, if you live in the DMV. Like, I know other places like Atlanta, y'all got y'all stuff.
They just live in
Atlanta never, y'all never closed down.
Not really.
Like, y'all never really had no true lockdown in the first place. So, no. But here, it's still certain things we can't even do. Like, you can't even have more than, like, what, 6 people to a table? Something like that. It's so much stuff. It's just ridiculous. And I'm kind of over it. I'm tired of wearing a mask. But it is what it is at this point. It's kind of become a normal thing because it's been, like, a year and some change. It says, okay, if you could pick one, would you rather have infinite money or unending love? Who said we can't have both? It says pick one.
Oh, I don't know.
You have to pick one.
It said infinite money or love.
Infinite money or unending love, like. Oh, yeah. That's a hard one. I mean, I feel like if I have unending love, like, what I need money for? Right. But then again, like, I don't want to be broke. Like, that's just not something that I'm interested in. But for the sake of this scenario, I feel like I would pick the love part. Just because, like, what's the point of me having all this money and nobody love me? Like, now I'm just sitting here looking stupid by myself. Like, with money.
I agree. Well, no, because I'm not pressed for love. If it comes, it comes.
I just don't want to be sitting there with a whole bunch of money and what I'm just going to be spending on myself. That's so stupid. I was like, alright, well. Also, y'all, I do like to, and I keep forgetting, I do like to use setting spray in between each step. Same. That's usually what I do, but I forgot. So, here's me spraying it before the next step.
I'm using, y'all, I'm so frugal. I, once upon a time, had gotten, which I need to get some more. I fell in love with Danessa Lyrics. She does amazing makeup.
Oh, I just watched Jackie Arna did a video on
love.
Shout out to Jackie.
I love Jackie. She's so cute.
She just did a video using her makeup routine. I think that's what she did.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and I just watched it because I had never heard of Danessa.
Well, I love her, and I'm using her Vision Cream cover. I like to be very bronzy. I don't do contour. I just add color to my face. I don't know. I like it like that. So yeah. So that's what I just used, and that was in the shade W08. But
oh yeah, this is the Smashbox.
This is spray.
It's the Smashbox something. I forgot what it's called, but that's what I use for my when I do want to contour a little bit. Cause when I use like my regular contour shade, it don't be dark enough for me, and I like to be I like to add some brown to my skin, just because I be wanting that dimension type look, and I don't get that when I don't use that. So that's what I like to use. The next question is, pick one, cheat or be cheated on. What's that?
What?
Yes.
Why would anybody want to?
First of all, I would never want to be cheated on, but like, I don't know. I just feel like cheating just makes you feel so freaking guilty. I don't know. I guess I would rather cheat because like being cheated on is so like.
Mike, don't watch this.
Well, like, yeah, of course I'm not gonna do that to you, honey. But like, I don't know. I wouldn't want you to cheat on me either. Like, the heck?
It's a dog world at this.
Like, like what? If I had to choose one, I would choose that. But you know, that does not reflect my character or anything like that. I promise.
Of course it doesn't.
I promise. First of all, why does it look red? Why?
It's going to just
ma'am, why?
Just wait.
Why is it red?
Just wait. I don't like that. People be doing like
you didn't even pick one.
Color.
First of all, you didn't pick one.
It'd be like a poop color contour.
That's what darkish. This is. But it don't look like it because I guess it offs. I don't know. That's why some people trust the process because
that's what I'm saying. Just trust the process. My pictures be looking good though, so I don't. This is my first time doing a YouTube video. All of these lights and crap. I gotta, yeah.
Next, y'all already know for my bronzer, I use the Hoola.
It was red for real?
Yes, I use the Hoola by Benefit, but I use Hoola Toasted bronzer. And I can only use a little bit because y'all is super, super dark on me. It's gonna look like somebody punched me in my face if I use too much. So I literally dab, and then I have to dust it off because absolutely not. And then I gotta make sure it's blended out because I don't have the time for anybody to be clocking me today. This is probably the best I've ever done my makeup, when I actually just sit down and go. Usually I'm rushing because I like to do it at the last minute. But I also like for my makeup to sit for a little bit.
Same.
Because I like when the makeup mixed with my oils in my skin and it gives like a nice shiny look. I like that. I don't really like the whole mattify look because I feel like my skin's too dry for that and it just look like it's breaking up in my face. The next question, no, you didn't answer the question.
To be cheated on or cheat?
Yep. You must pick one. For all the guys out here who are planning to try to talk to her through the video, hope you're listening.
I do the cheating.
Ma'am!
It's like, no, I don't. I don't do the cheating. I don't do that. I don't do that. But nah, like we said, who wants to be cheated on? I'm just confused.
Like, I would never sign up to be cheated.
Like, yeah, like, hey, pick me.
Like,
I want to be the one that you cheat on me with.
Like that's just not cute. Where's the, can you just say this first?
It's not giving that.
Like, that just makes you feel like, okay. I'm not a violent person, but that would make me want to be violent towards somebody. I don't care. Alright, the next question is, have you ever cheated on an exam?
What type of dumbass?
You know what's crazy? No, I've never cheated. I've always been so scared to cheat in class, especially in college, because like if you get caught cheating in
college is different.
Oh heck, your college career is over. And what do I look like telling my mom like, oh well, the whole class was cheating, so I just decided to crank out my. I've seen so many people in college get caught. Like, it's not even funny.
For real?
Like, yes, in my I hope nobody's watching this that went to school with me, but y'all, this one girl, I took, what's the class called? Macroeconomics, right? Was it macro or micro? I took microeconomics. I think that's what it was. And I hated that class with a passion. It was a very difficult class. I'm not even gonna lie, I wanted to cheat several times. Freak on the exam. I finished with a C by the grace of God because
college is hard.
I thought I was gonna fail that class. When I say economics, it's so hard. Like, you would think, oh, it's just math. No, it's strictly like word problems. Like, it has nothing. Math is like a small part of econ. Like, for those of y'all that are accounting majors or whatever, y'all, more power to y'all, because I could never do it. I only had to take micro and I was done. But yeah, like, there's this app out there. I think everybody should know about it by now, but it was called Socratic, where you just take a picture of the question and it answers it for you. So everybody was putting their phones out. Why the professor turned around? The girl was holding her phone and her paper up like this, and she just froze. And when I said, oh, he said, hand me your test and leave out. I said, well, and that, folks, is why I don't. I just said, you know what, I'll take my L's. Okay, y'all, sorry. The camera had to go over. But y'all, that's why I just take my L's. when they need to be taken, because I don't have time to be getting kicked out of school and having that on my permanent record. Then I can't go to another college after that. Dead.
Oh no.
Would you rather have a British accent or an American accent? Honestly, I like the fact that I have an American accent because, for one, I feel like that gets annoying after a while. Like, I just feel like after a while, people gonna be like, girl, okay, like, it's cute. I love when people have British accents, but I don't think I could listen to it all day.
Yeah, no, it kind of gets annoying.
Like, I feel like I would be like, all right, give it up. Like, it's not cute anymore. No offense to anybody that has one. Like, I'm sure it's beautiful on you.
But you know what I don't understand? People who are British, I don't know if it's all of them, because I definitely heard a video of somebody who was British. But they be, when they sing, anybody who lives in the UK,
sing in an American accent.
Can you please tell me, why do y'all sing in an American accent?
But then again, a lot of them don't too, because like Ed Sheeran, you can hear it. He'll say like dancing and stuff like that. He don't say dancing. But some people, I watched a TikTok recently where this girl was saying she sings in an American accent because it sounds better.
Is this the one that I use? I can't remember if I used the jank. I don't remember if I used this one or not. I think I do for my, I don't know.
Yeah, it was this girl on TikTok. She basically like showed what she would sound like if she used her British accent versus her American accent. And she was like, this is why I sing in an American accent, because it sounds better. And I said, oh, well.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I don't know. I guess it's more marketable if you sing in an American accent. I don't know. But I used to always wonder that too, because I used to hear people's songs and then they would do an interview and I'm like, on who you have an accent? Like, I never would have. Yeah, I almost choked. I never would have knew that. Like Rihanna, for instance, I never knew that girl had an accent until that interview came out with Chris Brown. I swear I didn't know she had an accent. I swear I didn't. I said, Rihanna got an accent. Who? When she opened her mouth, I said, who? What? Excuse me, ma'am? And her accent was thick. I said, oh, heck no. Like, this whole time, she been playing with us, talking about some, yeah. And I'm like, girl.
You don't even.
You don't even talk like that. But, I mean, I guess. But yeah, I'd definitely rather have an American accent. Only because I feel like I would just get over it. I'd probably be tired of hearing myself talk. Another thing, I'm always curious how I sound to like other people. Like other cultures and stuff. Like people that speak different languages. I always wonder what I...
Talk to me nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes.
It's the hardest language to learn.
That too, I'm like, well...
Like how?
I don't know how, because French was really hard too.
French is hard, yeah.
I don't know how this is...
French and Italian. I
feel like English is hard because we have so many exceptions. Like, you could give a rule and then you tell somebody, but it don't apply to this word, that word. Like,
yeah, I think that's what they mean when they say that.
Especially because how we spell stuff is so unnecessary. Like, it's so... And then how we say certain words, like, you could have 2 A's in a word and they sound different. Like, they make different sounds. It's just stuff like that. Whereas when you learn Spanish, it's always going to be like, it's not going to say A. It's not going to say anything else. It's always going to be like, all the time. So I think that's why the English language is the hardest to learn. Next, for my blush, y'all already know I use the Profusion blush and bronzer palette on my face. I'm trying to think of what else I gotta... Do I want to do a shadow look? I kind of don't, but I'm gonna do a little bit. So I have the Maddie Ziegler, y'all know I don't know how to pronounce that girl last name, the Imagination palette by Morphe. I just love this palette because it has so many cute colors. Oh, I'm also going to use my MAC paint pot to prime my eyes before I do this, because otherwise it's not gonna show up. All right, let me get the next question. The quality that you look for in a partner. This is gonna be the last question, and then I'm gonna speed the camera up. Speed the process up while I finish watching Real Housewives. But what's the 3 things that you look for in a potential partner?
Well, I feel like we're grown now, so there's some things that it just should not be excusable. I feel like financial stability has now become, oh my god, yes, like a big thing. I think, I don't know, I just be wanting to have fun. Like, I want a best friend, and I like for somebody to be consistent with their energy. Like, don't come at me a certain type of way and then, you know, just fall off. That's really annoying. So I guess consistency and someone who's down to earth and fun.
I would say for me, I don't know, because I've always dated up. Like, I only had one boyfriend that was my age, and I mean, it was fine, but I always, for the most part, literally, I always date up. And I think it's because maturity level, I just can't. Like, I like to have fun. I'm a very goofy individual, so of course that's needed. But I need somebody that knows how to, like, turn that off. I just feel like a lot of guys nowadays, my age, and some, don't get me wrong, because age don't mean everything, because I have run into some guys that were older than me, and I was like, there's no way that I'm younger than you, and I think about stuff this way, and you don't. Like,
Yo, how?
so don't get me wrong. I just feel like I need somebody. Well, I don't need anymore, but what I look for in a person is somebody, of course, who's fun, like somebody like me who can goof around, who can make me laugh, because I don't like to be serious all the time. I really don't. I'm only serious probably like, I don't know, really not 10% of the time. But when it's time to get serious, I need you to be serious. I also want somebody that just like can, I don't know, that can take control. I can't do somebody where I gotta think for you every step of the way. I don't have time for that. Like, I shouldn't have to coach you on how to do certain things in life. You should just know how to do it. Like, granted, you know, we're all humans. We all need to, but some stuff should just be given. Like,
Right.
Like, some stuff is just, I shouldn't have to teach no man how to treat me. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. And I refuse to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to present the energy that I come with. And if you can't match it, then, well, we just not going to work out. And it is
Pretty
what it
much.
is.
That's what. Yeah.
So that's basically, like, I know I've received, you know, questions about like, oh, how did you find somebody like that? I promise you, if you present yourself a certain way, you're gonna attract certain types of people. That's literally all it is. I don't like no foolishness. I don't take no foolishness. And if you have foolishness, you wouldn't even know to come to me. You wouldn't even bother me if you on that type of time. You wouldn't. That's just what I say. That's my little tidbit. The next thing I look for in somebody, because I don't even have it all together myself, so I don't expect nobody to have everything together. But like, as far as stability, like, come on now. I feel like we're all grown. You should have some type of stability. Like, it don't have to necessarily mean you gotta have $1,000 in your pocket, but you just need to be working towards something.
Mm-hmm.
I like when you have a goal in mind and you're actively working towards that. I can respect that. You don't have to have it right now.
Yeah.
But if you at least, you know, you sit me down and be like, look, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I'm doing right now to try to achieve it, then I'll be like, you know what? That's gonna make me wanna, you know, help you get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
If you just sitting on your butt all day doing nothing, I'm gonna be like, alright, bro, like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But other than that, that's basically what I look for. It's really, really simple. Of course, you gotta have some type of personality, qualities and stuff like that. But other than that, that's like the main thing I look for. Looks to me ain't,
Nowadays, I mean,
like, I still gotta find you attractive, but at the end of the day, looks aren't everything. I know it sounds cliche, but it really isn't. Like, I've seen some people that look amazing and their personalities were trash. Like,
I never really paid attention to the looks part though. I never cared about, like, oh, like, I don't like my men. I had to renege that. I don't like my dudes to be like, they gotta be cute, of course, but like, I don't like the typical, oh, he, you know, is so fine, this and that. Like, you're my dude, you gonna be fine with me.
Right.
But I don't like those, basically what I'm trying to say is I don't like them pretty men. I don't find that
you
attractive.
take care of yourself, yes, but like you shouldn't be taking longer in the mirror than me. Like I don't have time for that. That's no shade to those who do. Like, do you, if you know what I'm saying, you want to take that extra step. But I do like somebody that's like, you know, kind of
like they
rough,
care about
like,
how they look,
right?
But
like my boyfriend, for instance, he
all.
cares about how he looks. Like he don't like going outside the house looking any kind of way. And he takes pride in what he wears and things like that and how he smells. But like, as far as like him going every 2 weeks to get his, you know, nails manicured and all that stuff, I'd be like, okay, bro. Like you like, what you doing here? Now there have been times where I was like, come with me to get, you know what I'm saying, get your toes done, you know, stuff. He was like, absolutely not. Like he's a very
but there's nothing wrong with guys who go get their feet.
Oh, absolutely not. My preference is I just, you know, it's just not like that. But if you do that, then more power to you. But I'm about to turn this daggone TV on and finish this because I like to take my time and I like to
Make me feel right.